Hello everybody and welcome to the end of Gen 2. I'm going to be honest with you, I did not manually grind to level 75 for my entire team. I did like 20-30 minutes of that and I was like, okay, this is actually going to take forever and I'm a little bit low on my videos as it is. So I Poke-Genned them all to level 75. Looked up the movesets. They were already maxed out at EVs anyway, so that wouldn't have changed anything. And there was like about like a 0.000000001% chance that any of these Pokemon would actually die during the grinding. So I figured I'm not going to lose anything with just Poke-Genning them to level 75. And the level 75, they're not even like on the lowest level of Red's Pokemon. Red's lowest level Pokemon is it's level 73. That's not true. It's level 73, level 75, 77, 77, 77, and 81. So, if I had done this to level 80, that might have not been entirely fair. But I think level 75, there's enough of a difference there to give me a little bit of leniency. And otherwise, there might not have been a video today. So, or later down the week. So let's take a quick look at everybody's stats. Mostly the moves which changed, which is nothing for Casper, but I want to show you the stats. Also, I want to see the stats for myself. Yeah, nothing changed here. Absolutely huge special attack. Forks has learned Swift, which is better than, at least I hope he did. I haven't even checked that. He did in Poke-Gen, or Poke-X is what I use actually. I skipped over it. Did he not get Swift? Did I not load that properly? I skipped over it again. Let's try this. Stop. Okay, he doesn't have Swift, which means that Ampharos doesn't have Thunder either, and I know why that is. Let's look again. I used a save state rather than a actual like save load, which is necessary for Poke-Genning stuff. He's still. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know what went wrong there. What I do know though is that I don't need to show you the movesets if they didn't change. I do need to teach somebody Flash, however. So. I did check if I actually have Flash at all, and luckily I do. So let's go. HM05 Flash to Forks, Spaghetti, Deus, or Mary. Seeing as how Forks didn't get Swift, and I'm not going to be able to like use Gust effectively at all because it's a weird fuck move. Yeah, let's get rid of Gust there, I suppose. Which means that the only legendary Pokemon on our team has 2 HMs, which is a little bit like sacrilegious, I'd like to say. But this is it. We're going into Mount Silva. We're going to face Red right after I brighten up this cave right here. We can see, luckily. I have no idea what the layout of Mount Silva is. I've not like done this a lot. I'm not going to fight a wild Pokemon because they're the level 45 at most, and I'm level 75. There's a little bit of disconnect in levels there, I'll be honest, but that's just because Red is so ridiculously higher leveled than the rest of this entire game. It's a real good final boss, I'll give you that, but there's like no build up to it whatsoever. It's like Blue is a very large step above the rest of the Kanto gym leaders, and then Red is an even bigger step above that. There's no like grey area where you can properly grind, and that is part of the reason where I decided, yeah, I'm not actually gonna like manually do that grinding because I'm gonna be grinding as a level 70 Pokemon, 6 of them, against level 45 Pokemon. That's gonna take frickin' forever. So, you could argue that that's a very big and nice. I don't have Waterfall, do I? Can anybody in my team learn Waterfall? Do I even need Waterfall? I don't know. I'm assuming that I do. Nobody can learn Waterfall. Fuck me. Shit. I think I do need Waterfall. I might not, but wait a second. Is this it? Yeah, no, this is it. I don't even need Waterfall. This is it. This is the fight. It's going to be a short episode. I thought Mount Silva was going to be a lot longer, to be honest. I think in a remix it is longer. This is... Okay, let's do this. 6 Pokemon. I'm slightly under level. Not as much as I was with Blue, but I think his IVs and his AI are better. And I'm starting off against the Pokemon... Okay, I'm starting off against a Pikachu, which turns into a Hitmonchan, which is the most difficult Pokemon he has. He probably can't really hit me with Hitmonchan, is the thing. I mean, he's gotten attacked. Don't use the speed button at all this episode. I'm using only one hand. I can't use the speed button. I cannot use the speed button here. Also, last episode was the first time I did this whole like live face cam thing. It's not the first time I did the face cam, but the way I recorded the face cam into the overlay was the first time, and it actually worked fairly well. So I'm gonna keep doing that because it actually like it got the amount of tedium in the editing to like half what it was before. Right now, I literally only have to sync and do the overlays rather than sync a third layer, which is the facecam layer, manually, and then like adjust it every now and then with the audio so that it keeps in sync. Because if I record for like an hour, by the end of that hour, the sync will have been offset by like almost a second. So that is a bit of an issue. I don't have to do that anymore right now because the delay is created by the way the camera writes the data. I don't exactly know what it is about it, but if I use an HDMI and then record externally through, for instance, my Elgato and then into OBS, which is what creates the delay, not the camera itself. It's the Elgato that creates the delay. If I had an internal capture card, there would be no delay. This is going to take forever, isn't it? Until I get a critical hit, which I just did. But there's no, like, gradual delay there, so that's good. So that kind of fixed that. And that's also a really good reason to eventually, like, try to get the external recorder I want for this camera, because technical stuff. But this camera's, like, internal bitrate is shit. The codecs it records in, the way it writes away the data from the camera itself into a file is kind of shit. But if I have a external recorder, I can fix both of those issues. And then this camera also does 4K rather than just 1080p. But the recorder I want is like 1,500 euros, so I'm not going to get that anytime soon, I'm afraid. But it does. Once I get that, if I get it, this camera does become like a proper cinema camera, which can record like very high quality footage. I have filmed with this camera and that specific recorder like twice before, and the quality of footage, the largeness of the files is ridiculous, but the quality of footage that it produces is fucking amazing. Anyway, you're not here to hear me talk about the quality of footage. You're here to see me whoop some ass, and frankly, we're kind of doing that. This is going to be a very short episode, I'm sorry. It's going to be like 15 minutes long, probably, if that. But next time, we go into Hoenn, and I'm very, very excited, because there are surprises waiting for me in that ROM, which I don't know anything about yet, apparently. And that is going to be very fun to experience, because you have a Croconaw. Wow. Your Croconaw gonna die. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I have done a lot of randomizers. That's like the basic idea of pretty much anything I do on this channel. I mean, I've done the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizers, which lately have been picking up a lot of views, by the way. I don't know why, but suddenly Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizers all over like my channel, like the 3 or 4 videos there are, they've gotten like hundreds of views in the past month or two. I don't quite understand fully why, but I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not going to do another one. Not anytime soon, anyway. I might. Depending on if I get enough like interesting games to do on Spotlight, I might fill some of those slots if I don't have Spotlight games with randomizer episodes for Kingdom Hearts or something like that, because it was a lot of fun to do. So maybe I'll think about that. They are getting in like a lot of views and new viewers as well, which is always fun. But of course, then you also have pretty much any series I've done ever on Pokemon is randomized, because that just increases the replayability of the game so much, and it makes for a more entertaining Mareep as the last Pokemon we're facing in this game. That's somehow that's fitting. But I've never had something that's like specifically customized to a certain extent for me. It's not like a totally different game and a ROM hack like a Driano hack or something like that, right? But it's been specifically customized apparently to have like a couple of fun things for this series. So that was Red. That was very anticlimactic. That was a very short I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna upload an 11-minute video, and I'm gonna call it something like the end. The end of an era. Something like that, right? Because it is the end of an era. We are not only moving into a new generation, we're moving into a new hardware generation with Gen 3 as well. And the increase from Gen 2 to Gen 3, I would argue, is the biggest one in the entirety of Pokemon, up to Gen 5 to Gen 6. In a lot of ways. Graphically speaking, anyway. Game design wise, Gen 3 to 4, obviously way bigger change with the physical spatial split. It's probably the most important intergenerational change that has ever been applied to Pokemon, I'd say. But 2 to 3, graphically speaking, I think is the biggest until we move into 3D. And you might say, Gen 7 to 8, we moved from a handheld to the Switch, but have you seen how Sword and Shield look? They're not like particularly like Switch-worthy games. The joke of Sword and Shield are very good 3DS games. It's a little too much. That they're definitely like graphically more capable than 3DS games. The 3DS couldn't run that if it wanted to. As a matter of fact, the 3DS could barely run the 3D games on it for Pokemon. But that's mostly because Game Freak apparently sucks at optimization. And I would bet that that's the same reason that Sword and Shield don't look great. Because they probably are using a lot of that horsepower the Switch gives. But it's not optimized. This is the end. Next time, we're moving right into... Oh. It puts me back here. I was thinking this is going to be like the title screen. That kind of sucks. Gen 3. See you then. Bye.